Run It Back Nation, what is good on this beautiful Monday? It is I, DJ Eastwood, Run It Back Philly. No frauds, no fanboys, no intros. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Only 30% of people that watch these shows are subscribed. It might not really do anything for you, but it does something for me. Just push the red button. If it's red, push it. Go ahead. Do it, man. That would be awesome. This episode of Run It Back Philly is brought to you by Manscaped.com. Get 20% off and free shipping at Manscaped.com using the promo code NOINTRO. Get the Lawnmower 4.0, the best male grooming razor you will ever use, and it's just awesome. And your girlfriend might steal it, and then you got to buy another one, and you should use your 20% off code to get your second one too. Manscaped.com, promo code NOINTRO. It has skin-safe technology. You can take care of everything you need to take care of without fear of nicks, cuts, scrapes, or anything like that down there, which wouldn't be fun. Silent, has a flashlight. Make you feel like Michael Phelps. Thanks for being here, man. Use the promo code NOINTRO, Manscaped.com. What's good to everyone in here, man? Thanks for being here. 61 people here already. Shout out to the supporters of the channel. Most recent member, JLove47, shout out to you. Most recent subscriber, Sarisha Mata, shout out to you. Most recent super chat, True Vision, $1.99, thank you for that. And Bravo Carlos still on top with the $20 super chat. Thank you, Bravo Carlos. Yeah! Anything else I got to say before we get into some stuff? Alpha Ball, what's up? The Anna Horford rant is going to be must-see TV. I don't know if I'm going to rant about Anna Horford. She's just a weirdo. And for those that don't know, Anna Horford is Al Horford's sister, okay? And she's obsessed with Boston, and she hates Philadelphia. 1 year, 2 years, I don't remember how long Al Horford was here, but when we signed Al Horford, she was still kind of on Twitter saying weird things about Philly fans, even while he was playing in Philly. I think maybe he's scared of his sister and doesn't want to tell her to shut up. But she's basically a jobless, purposeless piece of flesh roaming the earth who provides nothing positive to society whatsoever, and lives off of Al Horford's money and fame, and has a podcast called The Horfords or something that I can't imagine anybody would be interested in listening to whatsoever. But she's still on Twitter every day. And honestly, people will reply to me and others and say, well, stop giving her airtime. Stop talking about her. Stop replying to her tweets. Stop tagging her on Instagram. And she won't have a platform. And I know that, but it's fun. It's fun for me to do. That's why I do it, because it's fun. All right, so the weirdest thing she's done recently, and I wanted to talk about this a couple days ago, she posted this on Twitter, okay? It says, some random person on Twitter, marry blank blank for YouTube purposes, Ime, Tatum, and Jalen, okay? Now, Al Horford's sister quote tweets this and says, only because I have to choose. I don't know who told you have to choose or that you even have to tweet this. But she says, only because I have to choose. Marry Jalen, Tatum, kill Ime. How weird is this? And why? What's it for? Why? Well, Al, get your sister, Al. Tell her to shut up, or you're going to stop paying her credit card bill. All right? So anyway, I post this on Instagram, okay? And I posted on Instagram with the caption, Anna Horford is a creep. All right, and the comments are great. If you're not following at Run It Back Philly on Instagram, you should. Anthony Serrano says she blocked me a year ago. Coy Holmes said, is this the real her in the comments? And Grace says, it's so weird to post this so proudly. And when I saw my guy Coy Holmes right here, is this the real her in the comments? I'm like, wait, what do you mean? So I go through the comments, and lo and behold, bam! Anna Horford comments, 3 hearts. Why? I don't know. What the 3 hearts means, I have no idea. But, yeah, there you have it. Anna Horford is a weirdo, and she has nothing to do at all, so much that she replies to all of her mentions on Instagram, I would assume, and she has nothing to do so much that she replied, and I didn't even know it until somebody told me. And if I have more to do than Anna Horford, then she's really bored. So that's a quick, fun little story I got for you. Also, people have been asking me, have you watched Hustle yet? And I haven't. I've seen clips of it. I saw a little interview with Tobias Harris about like Boban was in the movie, and then he probably got Adam Sandler to call me, and now I'm in the movie, and I don't know if I care enough to watch it. I guess it's cool that they used Philadelphia, that Adam Sandler used Philadelphia. I guess it's cool that he used Sixers players. It was fun to talk about like last year before the season happened, but like after the way the Sixers season went, I don't really want to watch a movie with some of these players and celebrate it like we did something amazing being in a movie. I don't care that much. Was it a good movie or not? People in the chat, was it good? I don't know, man. Like, I'm not that interested in watching it. I kind of wish it was a different team. If the Hustle movie was featuring a different team, then I think I'd be more interested to watch it. But Matisse Thybulle and Tobias Harris in a movie, I don't care that much. Also, sports movies to me aren't that interesting either because they're usually pretty predictable. Undrafted whoever from a rough neighborhood and a troubled past defeats all odds by making the league, and all the star players are like, what's this kid doing here? And then he surprises everyone and hits a game-winning shot at the end of the movie. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know if that's the plot of this movie. I was just saying. That's most sports movies to me. I just don't really care about it that much. Process in Philly says the movie is basically making fun of the Sixers' decision-making in disguise. It's hilarious. Okay. That actually makes me want to watch it, kind of. I might watch it just for that. Seriously. I might watch it just for that. Congratulations to Paul Reed for graduating from DePaul University. Maybe Doc Rivers can graduate to playing him at backup center. But shout out to Paul Reed for graduating. He posted it, said, made my mama proud. That's awesome. Great story. Late second-round pick. Went back to college, finished his college degree. You know what I mean? Because honestly, like, let's be serious. If the NBA doesn't work out, you need a backup plan, right? So shout out to Paul Reed for finishing his degree at DePaul University. And maybe he went and finished his degree because he fears that Doc will be his head coach for his entire career, and he will never get the opportunity that he deserves. Speaking of which, I posted, what did I post on Instagram? I posted something on Instagram, something about Doc Rivers and Paul Reed and whatever else. And my guy, Tom Arnone from A2D Radio, replied and said, we will talk about this on Monday. Paul Reed stinks! Tonight at 10 o'clock, Run It Back Philly and A2D Radio Monday Night Collaborations. Well, I don't think we gave it a title yet, but 10 o'clock, A2D Radio and Run It Back Philly, we were collaborating, and Tom thinks that A, Paul Reed stinks, B, we should not be screaming to fire Doc Rivers. So tune in for that debate because I can't wait to tell Tom all of the reasons Doc Rivers has to be fired. I can't wait. And speaking, that actually leads me into the next thing I want to say. But yeah, be sure to tune in tonight at 10 if you got time, if you're chilling, if you're, nothing to do. I don't know. Is there a finals game on tonight? Maybe there is. But tune in tonight, A2D Radio and Run It Back Philly. And I'm going to tell Tom all the reasons Doc Rivers needs to be fired. And I'm going to tell him why Doc Rivers should have been playing Paul Reed months before he did. Anyway, shout out to 112 people in here, man, on a Monday afternoon. What are you guys doing, man? You at school? You at work? You at home? You at your girlfriend's house while she's at work and you're taking her car somewhere? She pays all the bills? What you doing? I'm just kidding, man. I'm just joking. What's next on the agenda? Oh, yeah, I have an article. Speaking of Doc Rivers and Paul Reed, to make you guys hate Doc Rivers even more, and to, should be nobody's surprise, you know, and I'm always perplexed by it because what we witnessed with Doc Rivers in Philly just in a year, 2 years, soon to be 3 years, which is depressing to think about, but just what we've witnessed the short time that he's been here is nothing new. And people that know Doc Rivers, fan bases of other teams, they often point out he's been like this for a long time. The refusing to play younger players, the always playing veterans over him, regardless of the stats, regardless of the analytics, regardless of anything anybody's been saying. Doc has been doing this for a long time, and I go back to the Clippers when I talk about Terrence Mann and the fact that his mom wrote a whole article or was interviewed for an article basically saying Doc Rivers is terrible for my son. He's not helping him develop, and then they fired Doc's ass, and Terrence Mann, boom, averaging 10 points off the bench. I have one that not a lot of people talk about, and they should be talking about it. When you talk about Doc Rivers' tenure as an NBA coach, when you talk about all of the ways that he's been fired or traded from his championship-winning team, the 2008 Boston Celtics, they eventually traded him. When you talk about Doc Rivers' career, not a lot of people bring this up. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who was a rookie, had a couple of breakout games, and Doc Rivers said, nope, too young, and stopped playing him. And then there was articles coming out saying, is Doc Rivers holding back Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? Is Doc Rivers losing faith in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? And Doc ended up playing veterans such as Avery Bradley and the like, who were not contributing whatsoever. And then I think Doc Rivers talked them into trading him in the Paul George package. I believe that's what it was. Correct me if I'm wrong. Or maybe the, where's OKC? Yeah, Paul George. They traded that young stud of a future superstar. They failed. They fired Doc Rivers. And now Shai Gilgeous-Alexander will become an NBA superstar for another franchise, mostly because of Doc Rivers. Think about that for a second. All right, so here's this article from 2000. I don't remember. It doesn't have the year. It says 177 weeks ago. Do the math. 2019 sometime. And this article is titled, could Doc Rivers really be losing faith in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? And this is just interesting because it just reminds me of all of the things that we've witnessed so far with young players and Doc Rivers and his just decimating NBA teams one by one and keeps getting another chance. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the 11th overall pick in the 2018 NBA draft, started his rookie season off better than any of us could have imagined with the LA Clippers. After starting the year on the bench, Gilgeous-Alexander was inserted into the starting lineup just 9 games into the season. In a way, he had forced Doc Rivers' hand. That stands out to me. Mr. Rudy Poo says, superstar, hold your horses. I will not hold my horses. SGA will be a superstar, bro. Like, you want to make a bet right now? Look, that stood out to me. In a way, he had forced Doc Rivers' hand. Why do we have to force this coach's hand to play young players? Why is this necessary? And the Clippers actually made roster moves, and some people believe that they made roster moves to not give him the option to play other people. That's what people say about the Sixers. They need to just trade everybody, all the old backup centers, and leave them with nobody but Charles Bassey and Rich and B-Ball Paul, and maybe he'll play him. It's sad that you have to go to these lengths to try to force a coach to do something when you can just get rid of him. But anyway, after starting the year on the bench, okay, he forced Doc Rivers' hand. His numbers were impressive so far, especially for a rookie, but the pairing of Patrick Beverley and Avery Bradley ultimate seemed to be what caused it. The two were playing great defense but couldn't get anything done on offense. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's intelligence and playmaking ability looked to pay off as the Clippers won 10 of their first 12 games that he started in. His first 12 starts, they won 10 games in his rookie year. That includes a 5-game win streak in mid-November when the Clippers rattled off consecutive wins over the Milwaukee Bucks, Golden State Warriors, and San Antonio Spurs. During that time, the rookie posted averages of 13 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists across 30 minutes per game. Solid numbers, yes, especially for a 20-year-old that was barely beginning his NBA career. But it wasn't just his numbers that were impressive. During this same stretch of 12 games, the Clippers posted a point differential of plus 58 against teams with a combined record of 94 and 100. Remove the 4-17 Phoenix Suns and the 3-14 Atlanta Hawks from that group, and that number looks a whole lot better. So you won 10 of 12. The dude's averaging 13, 4, and 3. You're a plus 58 in your last 12 games. And the next paragraph in this article. But then, for no clear reason, Gilgeous-Alexander's minutes took a hit. To put it into perspective, I'll break things down by groups of 20 games. In Gilgeous-Alexander's first 20 games, he logged 30-plus minutes 4 different times. He also logged 28 minutes 7 other times. Most importantly, though, he played less than 20 minutes just one time. The next 20 games, which took place November 29th to January 8th, he logged 4 games with 30 or more minutes, but after that, the numbers significantly dropped down. This time, there were just 2 games with at least 28 minutes logged and 4 games where he played less than 20. The rest then all fall somewhere in the low 20s. Admittedly, the rookie fell into early foul trouble in a few of those games, but that wasn't always the case. More often than not, we'll see Shai for a majority of the first quarter and then again later for some of the third or fourth quarter, but rarely more than that. His shooting numbers support this too. By the looks of these numbers alone, it becomes apparent that Gilgeous-Alexander either isn't getting many late quarter minutes or isn't taking shots during that time. Both are true, but it's mostly the former. So does Doc Rivers trust his rookie in important moments or not? Because judging by these numbers, it certainly doesn't look that way. That was written in 2019. Now here we are in 2022, and Doc is doing the same thing to our squad. And it appears that the forced marriage of Doc Rivers and Daryl Morey is going to continue, whether or not it's to the demise or decimation of this team, or whether or not it's to the demise or decimation of Joel Embiid's prime years. It's going to continue, and I think mostly because he has 4 more years on his contract making $10 million a year, and Josh Harris just is not going to take that hit at all. So we're stuck with Doc Rivers. And I don't know, man. I don't think you're winning anything with Doc Rivers. My main hope is that they start the season 0-15 and it gets canned right away. Like, that's my main hope. Doc and Daryl Morey were in the same organization with the Boston Celtics, and some other articles that I read about this was that Daryl Morey and Celtics GM Danny Ainge at the time were looking at analytics more often, and they were noticing that Doc Rivers did not care about analytics and kind of refused to acknowledge them, and kind of refused to acknowledge certain stats that would tell you to play this player instead of this player. Doc Rivers didn't care way back in 2009, which is ultimately why they ended up trading his ass. And then, Daryl Morey goes to Houston, and Mike D'Antoni and all that, analytics. And then they end up in Philly together. Now, Daryl Morey did not choose Doc Rivers. Daryl Morey was hired alongside Doc Rivers by Josh Harris and the other goofballs that don't know anything about what they're doing. Daryl Morey is definitely seeing these numbers. He's definitely seeing when Doc was playing DeAndre Jordan or Paul, when Doc played Paul Millsap for 17 straight minutes against Giannis Antetokounmpo and gave up 21 straight points and lost that game, there's no way Daryl Morey didn't see that and say, how could you not look at these numbers and play the guy that can defend and rebound? So we must hope that this continues. Doc continues to refuse analytics, refuse statistics, ignore the fans, argue with reporters, etc., and it continues to bite him where it counts, because that's exactly what happened. He did it with Ben Simmons. He did it with Paul Reed eventually. He was forced to play Paul Reed. He played Paul Reed. Paul Reed succeeded in what he was supposed to be doing. And Doc was upset about it and said, we're not going on a Paul Reed victory tour here. So that's what I have to say about Doc and the SGA story and Paul Reed and everything else. He's been doing this his whole career, and there's just no reason to think it's going to change. GSC 76, if Philly is underwhelming to start the year, Doc is gone. I agree with that. Mr. Rudy Poo, well, at least we don't have a lazy player like Anthony Davis who starts basketball activities 6 weeks before training camp. I saw that tweet, man. Anthony Davis is caught on video saying he hasn't dribbled a basketball since April of last year or whatever it was. What was it? I don't know. But then he went through his training routine and basically said he only starts playing basketball 6 weeks before the NBA season. I don't know. But that dude's always hurt anyway. Who cares? I mean, I'm sure he can get his game back real quick if he's healthy. I think the idea there is for him to get healthy. So he does like conditioning, weight training all summer, and then just starts playing basketball. Either way, dude gets hurt all the time. And he won a championship. Maybe he doesn't care anymore. I don't know. One thing I want to talk about is this. Because there was a tweet yesterday by a Sixers writer that said a Matisse Thybulle, Lou Dort trade makes too much sense for it to not happen. Now, I don't know why it would make any sense for the Oklahoma City Thunder to do that. There was one on Instagram that suggested Lou Dort for Matisse Thybulle and a second-round pick. That ain't going to happen. Look, okay, for those that don't know, if you're one of those people that only watches the Sixers and you don't know anything about other players, most of you aren't here, by the way. I think most of the people that watch this channel are real hardcore Sixers fans who are educated on the game, so shout out to you guys. I don't think there's not usually a whole lot of like fair weather basketball fans in here, especially in the offseason. Once the post-game lives are here and stuff, there's 1,000 people that have no idea what they're talking about in the chat and things like that. But anyway, the only way it would be possible to trade Matisse Thybulle for Lou Dort is if you throw in the number 23 pick in this year's draft. Would you do that? Yes or no? Danny, what's up, man? The thing is, Lou Dort will be a free agent next year and OKC can't afford to pay him. I agree with that. The Sixers can't afford to pay him either. A. B. You're not getting him for Matisse Thybulle. I mean, like, if they do trade him because they think they're not going to be able to afford to pay him, they can get more than that. You would not trade Matisse Thybulle and this year's number 23 pick for Lou Dort. David says hell no. Speed Demon says no. San 8 says no. Gosby Bill says no. Really? 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 Let me put it this way. Why gamble? Because that's part of the game. Listen, No, not for 1 year. I mean, you would. It'd be one of those things where he agrees to sign an extension, something like that. You wouldn't gamble and let him leave after a year like we did with Jimmy Butler. But look, just on the surface of things, a bucket getter 215, Lou Dort isn't all that. Nobody's saying Lou Dort is Michael Jordan in his prime. Look at the trade. Matisse Thybulle and this year's number 23 pick. What benefit is Matisse Thybulle to this team right now? Zero. What can you do with the 23rd pick? You might be able to draft a player who ends up being as good as Lou Dort at 23 years old. Or you might do what the Sixers usually do, which is draft Timothy Wawu-Cabarrot and Furkan Korkmaz. Mr. Rudy Poo says a 6'3" forward who doesn't shoot. Who told you that? Lou Dort is 23 years old. He can do everything Matisse Thybulle can't do. He can dribble. He can create his own shot. He can finish in traffic. He can shoot the ball, and he's a good defender. He averaged 18 points per game last season, and he had multiple 30-point games, one game with 5 made three-pointers. Where did I get that from if Lou Dort can't shoot? Where did I get that from? The question is Lou Dort better than Matisse Thybulle and what the Sixers might do with the 23rd pick? Yes. Come on, man. And he's 23 years old. The answer is yes. He averaged 18 points per game at 23 years old. I know it's on a bad team, but it doesn't matter. Honestly, at the small forward position between Matisse Thybulle and Danny Green with one leg, come on, man. You put Lou Dort in there. There's no way you hold on to Matisse Thybulle in the 23rd pick if that's an option. I don't believe that. Respectfully, I don't believe that. Shifty, small trade just happened? What trade happened? What trade happened, my man? Where are we at? Or do I got to go to Woj or what? Do I got to go to Wojnarowski? Process in Philly, man. It blows my mind sometimes, man. It blows my mind, man. It really does, man. Lou Dort is so much better than Matisse Thybulle. It's unbelievable. But again, the only way I could see that trade actually being possible to happen is if you throw in the 23rd pick, and I still don't know if they even do it then, because unless they are under the impression that Matisse Thybulle is an all-worldly defender that will make your team way better and things like that. I don't know. Hopefully they are. Maybe they fall for it. And no, you can't trade the 23rd pick. You have to agree to draft a player and then trade said player. It's the same thing, bro. You're still trading the pick. It's the same thing. If I'm the Thunder, I'm not putting Matisse Thybulle on this team. First of all, the Thunder were a pretty good defensive team last year. They struggled offensively. Adding Matisse Thybulle's 2 steals and 2 rebounds in 20 minutes and bad fouls and horrendous offensive output doesn't do anything for the Oklahoma City Thunder. But if they fall for it, I'd be happy. I would be happy about that. And I forgot to look, man. What trade happened? Small trade with the Sixers, or are you talking about like just a random NBA trade or what? People. Wojnarowski. Oh, come on, man. There he is. Oh, here we go. Okay. Denver is trading JaMychal Green. I think I remember watching him play. Denver's trading JaMychal Green. Sorry for butchering the name. And a protected 2027 first-round pick to Oklahoma City Thunder for the number 30 pick in this month's NBA draft and 2 future second-round picks. Nuggets have 21 and 30 in the draft now, and Thunder have 2, 12, and 34. Wow. The Nuggets have 2 first-round picks, and the Thunder have 3 first-round picks, including number 2, number 12, and number 34. Hey, man, make the Lou Dort trade. Now you got 2, 20, 12, 23, and 34. Green is expected to exercise $8.2 million contract extension. Deal gives Nuggets flexibility to use tax mid-level exception, trade exception in the offseason. Nuggets expect to be a tax-paying team. Thunder have $31 million in cap space to absorb the Green salary. Hey, that's interesting, man. And what that says to me, and probably most of you, is that the ball's rolling. An NBA trade happened. The ball's rolling. Maybe. Because we're getting closer to the draft. Maybe we get a Sixers trade in the next couple days. Maybe. 155 people in here, man. Hit the like button. Thanks for being here. The Nuggets also have been rumored to making Will Barton available for trade, and this article said the Denver Nuggets are expected to be aggressive this offseason, and Will Barton is a name that comes up as available in trade talks. Another player that I think is a perfect role player for the 76ers, Will Barton. Look at Will Barton for a second. And again, at the small forward position for the Sixers, it's an empty hole. It's an empty hole. There's nothing there. It was literally, we were shuffling between Danny Green and Matisse Thybulle. It's done. You absolutely need a starting level small forward. Steve Spears says Philly needs Levine. Well, I can't disagree with that, but is that possible? Gary Harris would be great for Philly. I agree with that too, guys. I agree with that. But just thinking about Will Barton for the Nuggets, he's 31 years old. He's had 10 years in the NBA. He's probably a better starter than Danny Green with one leg or Matisse Thybulle, the football player. I wrote that in my notes. Last year, Will Barton started in 71 games for the Nuggets. He attempted 12 shots per game and knocked down 43% of his field goals while draining 36% of his threes. Overall, he's averaged 14 points per game while spending roughly 32 minutes on the court per game. So 31 years old, still played 32 minutes, averaged 14 points per game for the Nuggets, and they have, somewhat of a decimated roster last season with injuries. But you might be able to get Will Barton for cheap if the Nuggets are trying to move on. And I could see that being a perfect player that the Sixers could slide into the small forward position if options like Zach LaVine or blockbusters don't end up happening. I think that's an upgrade over Matisse Thybulle no matter what. Rather have Ben McLemore than him? Ben McLemore? Mr. Rudy Poo, what the hell did you eat for breakfast? I'm not going to say what got me kicked off of YouTube the last time. Barton is better than Furkan Korkmaz, so that's an automatic yes for me, Process in Philly says, and that's accurate. And that's what we have to think. That's what we have to ask ourselves every time we talk about a player this offseason. Is he better than Furkan Korkmaz? Yes. Markieff or Markieff Morris or Marcus Morris, I agree with that too. What about Jonathan Isaac? I don't know. I think that's a weird fit. I think Jonathan Isaac's a weird fit, man. David, Furkan just ain't get his minutes. I swear he's a bucket. He just ain't get no love from Doc. What are you talking about? Bro, Doc Rivers played that dude for 4 straight months. He was shooting 10% from 3. He was 5 for 127,000 before Doc stopped playing him. So respectfully, please watch the games, man. Please just watch the games, bro. All right, look. Before I jump up out of here, I want to get into some Philadelphia Eagles stuff because I just searched Eagles this morning to see if I could, come up with some kind of talking point. And there is a Yahoo Sports article that basically tries to align and compare Jalen Hurts with Josh Allen. And we've seen this comparison before based on strictly stats. My argument against that is that Jalen Hurts can't throw a ball like Josh Allen. Period. You know what I mean? You can compare their rookie numbers. You can say Josh Allen was bad and wasn't what he is, and he developed into this. I agree, but he had a cannon. I always think there's potential for a quarterback to hone in a cannon. Josh Allen can throw a dart, and he just needed to, get up to NFL speed and learn the speed of linebackers and safeties and corners and read the field better. And a lot of people think that's all Jalen Hurts has to do, and I hope he does. I just don't see the throwing ability, period, from Jalen Hurts. And it was Yahoo, man. Where'd it go? Eagles QB Jalen Hurts is on a similar trajectory to Josh Allen as a passer entering year 3. And there's an ad covering the entire screen, not letting me read the article, which that's cool. Scroll to continue with content. Oh, okay. What? What is this, man? What happened? Eagles QB Jalen Hurts on a similar trajectory to Bills Josh Allen. All right, here we go. A lot has been said about Jalen Hurts as a passer. But according to NFL research, Philadelphia's third-year quarterback compares favorably to Bills star signal caller Josh Allen at the same point in his career. Okay. We're just going to look strictly at numbers here, aren't we? Hurts started 4 games as a rookie and relieved Carson Wentz, and then started 15 games in 2021 during his first full season as a starter. Hurts has 19 regular season starts and 1 playoff appearance to bring his total starts in the NFL to 20 entering his third season. Through 19 starts, Hurts has actually averaged a higher completion percentage. Don't care. Let me tell you guys what I think about completion percentage and why it is skewed. And I said this to my guy, Victor Williams of the Philly Pod, on air here. You can go search my videos about the Jalen Hurts debate because, the 60% completion percentage, that means he completed 6 of his 10 passes. That does not mean he was accurate. It doesn't. The Eagles' offense is a lot of screen passes, a lot of dump-offs, a lot of quick motion, dink and dunk, as they say. Also, when you have an elite receiver, an elite stud young receiver like Devontae Smith, the dude is so good at ball tracking that he curls his routes and makes up for bad throws all the time. And even Quez Watkins did it a lot last season. So just because the receiver caught the damn ball does not mean it was accurate. So completion percentage does not equal accuracy. That's where I'm at with that. Anyway, he averaged a higher completion percentage, yards per attempt, yards per game, and passer rating than Allen over a similar time period during the beginning of their careers. Did Josh Allen have Devontae Smith? No, of course not. Allen started 27 games through his first 2 seasons, and only his touchdown-to-interception ratio is higher than Hurts in the 5 most important categories. All right, so Jalen Hurts pre-A.J. Brown, 59% completion percentage, 7.3 yards per attempt, 6.2 any attempt, 3.8% touchdown percentage, 2.2% interception percentage. The hell does that mean? 84.7 passer rating. They're not bad stats across the board when you talk about Jalen Hurts. That's why people that don't watch the games argue so hard. You guys just hate. You guys just pick someone to hate. You just pick someone to hate. You got to watch the game. You have to. Jalen Hurts is a smart kid. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. His numbers look good. He can manage a game. And you could possibly win a Super Bowl with a quarterback who just manages a game. I'm not saying you can't. I just want an elite quarterback. That's all. I think it's fun to watch an elite quarterback. I think it's more fun to watch Donovan McNabb get to the NFC Championship games and fail every time, or get to the Super Bowl and fail. It's more entertaining for me to watch 10 years of a guy that can absolutely heave the damn ball 70 yards than to watch a game manager rushing quarterback maybe be able to get it done one day. I don't know. That's just me, man. You can disagree with me if you want to. That's just me. Now, if Hurts comes out and looks like a different passer to me from the pocket, fundamentals, accuracy, all that stuff, Nick Sirianni's telling me it's true. Everybody else is telling me it's true. I hope it's true. Josh Allen before Trayvon Diggs. Trayvon Diggs is the corner, right? What's the receiver's name? Is that his brother? Stephon Diggs, my bad. Hurts before A.J. Brown. Why did he say Hurts before A.J. Brown? Like Hurts didn't have Devontae Smith? Come on, bro. Josh Allen, 56% completion percentage, 6.6 yards per attempt, 5.2 any attempt, 3.8% touchdown percentage, 2.7% interception percentage, 78.2 passer rating. Kyler Murray before DeAndre Hopkins, 64%, 6.6, 5.6, 3.7%, 2.7%, 87.4 passer rating. Is that the only comparison we're making here? That's the whole article? Should have known, man. It's the offseason. There's nothing to talk about. But Yahoo Sports, you got your clicks, man. You got your clicks by writing this one. I got to say congrats on the clicks. With the addition of Brown, the maturation of Dallas Goedert and Devontae Smith, Hurts should easily surpass the Eagles' single-season record of 4,039 yards set by Carson Wentz in 2019, and he easily double 16 touchdowns he passed. How? How do you say he should easily break the Eagles' single season record of yards in a season, and he should easily double his touchdowns? How? Getting better weapons does not mean you're going to easily break records and double your touchdown totals. You have to be able to throw the ball more accurately. Last thing I want to talk about, speaking of this, Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown have a chance to be the best wide receiver duo since Deshaun Jackson and Jeremy Maclin. And, whether or not it's Jalen Hurts that is mostly throwing the ball in their careers. Hey, Mr. Rudy Poo, thanks for the support. Thanks for the super chat. Don't really have too much faith in Hurts this season, but not worried. We have 2 first-round picks. Just don't throw a left-hand pick six if you know. That was Carson Wentz that threw a left-handed pick six in the end zone. Yeah, I can't wait to watch him do that. That was with the Colts, right, in the playoffs. God. Can't wait to watch him with the Commanders. But anyway, I do think Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown have the potential to be the Eagles' best wide receiver duo in history. I do think that. And I think that for a couple of reasons. First of all, off the top of your head, who's the best Eagles wide receiver duo in history? I'll answer the question for you. It's Deshaun Jackson and Jeremy Maclin. Deshaun Jackson and Jeremy Maclin were together from 2009 through 2013, but Maclin missed the entire 2013 season, so they had 4 years together. And during that span, Jackson averaged 968 yards per season with 21 touchdowns, and Maclin averaged 863 yards per game with 26 touchdowns. No other 860 yards per game. No, 863 yards per season. That was my bad with the typing. 26 touchdowns. No other team had 2 wide receivers with those numbers during that span. Jackson and Maclin ranked 3rd and 10th in Eagles history in receiving yards, 10th and 8th in touchdown catches, and 6th and 10th in catches. So easily 2 top 10 receivers in history on the same squad for 4 straight years. It was beautiful. We were blessed. We may have taken it for granted. Their best year together was 2010 when they combined for 2,020 yards and 16 touchdowns. And if you remember correctly, 2010 was the rebirth of Michael Vick when he was just back there letting that thing fly. And again, you can compare Jalen Hurts to Michael Vick, sort of, if you're talking about interception to completion ratio or interception to touchdown ratio, or well, Michael Vick was a running quarterback. Well, Michael Vick wasn't that accurate, but he had a cannon. The dude, I'm pretty sure the first game Michael Vick ever played for the Eagles, they ran a play action on 1st and 10, and he launched the damn ball 70 yards. Dude had a cannon. So, Deshaun Jackson, Jeremy Maclin, Michael Vick together, 2020 receiving yards and 16 touchdowns. That was awesome. Devontae Smith is 23 years old, is still on a 4-year rookie contract worth only $20 million. A.J. Brown is 24 years old. The Eagles just signed him to a 4-year, $100 million extension. So a 23-year-old and a 24-year-old. Devontae Smith, I'm telling you right now, is elite. And somebody in an argument on a Facebook group or something said something like Hurts only had a developing rookie come on, bro. Devontae Smith is not developing at all. He has everything. He was the best Eagles receiver last year when he first stepped on the practice field. He's that good. Elite hands, elite route running, elite ball tracking. The kid is a stud. And, he finished the season with what? 900-some yards, almost had 1,000 as a rookie, but again, I know you guys watch games. A lot of those balls were inaccurate. A lot of them. He's curling routes. He's coming back. The field's wide open. There's nothing but green grass ahead of him, but he has to run all the way backwards and dive out of bounds. Just watch how many balls he saved for Jalen Hurts. Last season, Devontae had 64 catches for 916 yards and 5 touchdowns. That's with a QB who threw only 16 touchdowns the entire season, and to be quite frank, was inaccurate 98% of the time. I'm sorry. It's just true. If you just get either Jalen Hurts to be able to launch the ball and lead a receiver and put it into his hands, Devontae smashes 1,000 yards as a rookie, probably has 1,500 yards as a rookie. No exaggeration at all. There's so many 40, 50, 60-yard plays that were left on the field because the ball was 7 yards to the left and out of bounds. It just is what it is. I hope Jalen Hurts gets more accurate, but we're talking about A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, and if it's Jalen Hurts that does it, that's fine. If it's a different quarterback that does it, that's fine. But these two could be together for a long time at just 23 and 24 years old and both signed for 4 years right now. And who knows what happens in 4 years, but they could become the best wide receiver duo since Deshaun Jackson and Jeremy Maclin. There's no reason they won't. And it's all up to Jalen Hurts. That's the thing. You added all these weapons. That means he's going to double his touchdown totals. How? You added this, you added that. It's all about Jalen Hurts being able to throw the ball, improving on his timing, improving on his pocket awareness, improving on his leading receivers open, not waiting for them to get open. It's all about him improving on those things. I don't care about his rushing stats. I don't care how much weight he can bench press and squat and leg press. I don't care how many weapons you put around him. He needs to be a better passer, period. I don't think you can argue that. I really don't. I don't think you can argue that. He needs to be a better passer. A.J. Brown has 2,995 yards in 3 seasons. So A.J. Brown, with just 3 years under his belt, has averaged basically 1,000 yards per season. I can't wait to watch those two play together, man. I can't wait. And I hope Jalen Hurts is a better passer than he was last year. Because if he is, who knows what could happen. And they say he changes mechanics. They say he's working with this guy and with that guy. Nick Sirianni's hyping it up. Everybody's hyping it up. He's got some serious, serious weapons right now. Anyway, thanks for tuning in to Lunchtime Live. Anything else you guys want to talk about in the chat, man? What's up? What you guys talking about in the chat? Minshew threw for more yards in 2 drives than Hurts does in first 3 quarters combined. Yeah, Minshew's a better passer. I don't think anybody will argue that. But you know, I don't think if I had to guess, I don't think either quarterback is the future of the Philadelphia Eagles as a starter. Joseph James. Danny says that's stupid and not true. Tell me you're talking about the Jets game. Well, Minshew, played well against the Jets, and Jalen Hurts had his worst game of the season against the Giants. I mean, I don't think you can argue that Minshew's a better passer. I don't think either of them. I don't think either of them personally are the future of the Philadelphia Eagles. But you know, as we get closer, we'll see. We will see. Brandon says, shoot, I was 15 minutes late. 15 minutes late to, what? The show? Unacceptable. You're fired for being late, man. You're fired. Giants had a good defense, and Nets were the worst defense. Jets were the worst defense in the NFL. Okay. I mean, Speed Demon, how much do you believe in the Sixers? I'm excited to start seeing, some trades start to pop off. I'm excited that an NBA trade has just happened, even if it was a small trade that had nothing to do with the Sixers. It tells me that we're getting closer to the time when trades go down, because the Sixers and Daryl Morey has a lot of things to fix, a lot of things to work on. I would almost guarantee Matisse Thybulle gets traded. I would almost guarantee Tobias Harris gets traded. I'm ready to see things get shaken up roster wise. But I'm telling you right now, this upcoming season, man, you're not winning with Doc Rivers. Maybe you are. Maybe you are winning with Doc Rivers. I guess we could look at it like this. He did win with the 2008 Boston Celtics because they had enough talent, right? And if Joel Embiid was healthy these playoffs or the last playoffs or the 2019 playoffs or whatever, if Joel Embiid remains healthy, do we win the series against the Miami Heat? And if Joel Embiid, so it's mostly up to Joel Embiid, no matter who the coach is. Do I think playing Paul Reed over those guys would have been the best idea? Yeah. Do I think Doc should have tried to get more out of younger guys all season long? Yes. But I guess in the end, do I think that would have made them able to win a championship with Joel Embiid injured? No. If Joel Embiid stays healthy for the first time in his career, I feel like. Did he have a healthy playoffs? I think 2019 was a healthy playoffs, and we lost on a 4-bounce buzzer beater in Toronto to Kawhi Leonard. But we could have won a championship that season. If Joel Embiid stays healthy, I still don't think the Sixers win a championship. We'd have to see what this roster looks like going into the season, of course, because, Tobias Harris and the bench as bad as it was, and Danny Green tore his ACL, MCL, and Matisse Thybulle can't play basketball, and you can't have Furkan Korkmaz and Shake Milton coming off the bench. You can't be scrambling to find guys in the second round of the playoffs. So the roster needs a ton of work. But if you come back with a stronger roster, if you come back with some veteran role players like Will Barton and other guys that are becoming available in trades, and you clear some cap space, and Joel Embiid stays healthy next season, you might make it to the NBA Finals. You might. And then Doc Rivers would be praised. Then we would definitely be stuck with him for 3 more seasons after that. And I don't know how well that would go over. But you know, it's fun for me for the Sixers to always be in the conversation because I went so many years where they weren't in any conversations. So it's nice that we're here. But do I have faith that they can win it all this upcoming season? No. I don't think you can. I don't think you can ultimately win with Doc Rivers. I think and when he inevitably gets fired from the Sixers, I think that'll be it for him because I just don't understand how he keeps getting more chances. Like the beginning of the stream, I read an article from 2019 about how he handled the Shea Gilgeous-Alexander thing when he was a rookie, and he's doing the same thing and the same thing and the same thing and the same thing. People have to figure it out at some point. Got to figure it out at some point. Danny said, what is your perfect offseason? Who do you want? Perfect offseason? The perfect offseason is the Oklahoma City Thunder, for some reason, trade Lou Dort for Matisse Thybulle and the number 23 pick. No, I don't think that's the perfect. I think the perfect offseason is the Washington Wizards trade us Bradley Beal for Tobias Harris and the number 23 pick. Then we flip Matisse Thybulle to the Chicago Bulls and future picks for Zach LaVine. And James Harden comes back in better shape and plays more like Brooklyn James Harden. And we're a stacked superhero powerhouse. James Harden, Bradley Beal, Zach LaVine, Joel Embiid. Maybe, I don't know who at the 4. Maybe Marcus Morris at the 4. Then maybe Will Barton coming off the bench. Did I say Tyrese Maxey in the starting lineup? Maybe Maxey's the 6th man of the year in that situation. That would be a very, very strong team. I think that's the perfect offseason for me. There was just a picture of Donovan Mitchell hanging out with Jimmy Butler in Miami, so there's some that cap space is what? Have you seen our cap space recently? It doesn't exist. Over the threshold. We're in the luxury tax. Josh Harris is paying out of pocket. It is what it is. What's the point? Stay capped out and try to build a better roster to win a championship. Or don't. Try to get more cap space for no reason. I don't know, man. Anyway, thank you for tuning into Lunchtime Live, man. 128 people still in here. Please hit the thumbs up. Don't forget, go to manscaped.com. Get the Lawnmower 4.0. Take care of yourself, man. Buy one for your dad. It's almost Father's Day. 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com using the promo code NOINTRO. They got a whole bunch of stuff on there. They got something called the Perfect Package, which comes with the hedge trimmer, nose hair trimmer, crop preserver, which is deodorant for your boys, crop reviver, which is some good smelling spray for your area when when the magic's about to happen, man. Be prepared. Show up to the Indy 500 in a race car, not a broken down bucket. You guys have a good one, man. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow. Actually, tonight at 10 o'clock with A2D Radio. Tune into that because I'm going to be telling Tom Arnone from A2D Radio why Paul Reed should have been playing last year and why we absolutely have to fire Doc Rivers. Tune in. 10 o'clock tonight, man. See you guys later. Peace.